All right, let's dive into something truly mind-blowing today. We're talking about a masterpiece of invention from the distant past, but one that was just unlocked by the technology of the future. I mean, this thing is so complex, its secrets were hidden for over 900 years. So, get this. What if I told you that one of the very first computers wasn't made of silicon at all, but of gears and water?
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. A computer, right? You picture silicon chips, electricity, the whole deal. But what if a massive, gorgeous, water-powered clock from way back in the 12th century was actually one of the first computers ever built? It sounds totally impossible, I get it. But you guys, it's true.
And it's very, very real. For centuries, the absolute genius behind this incredible creation, it's called the elephant clock, was basically lost to time. I mean, the inventor, this guy Al-Jazari, he left behind these amazing designs. But figuring out how it all actually worked, well, that was a puzzle that took until right now to solve.
So, to really wrap our heads around this ancient marvel, we've got to start with a modern breakthrough. Researchers used AI to visualize the clock's inner workings for the very first time. And what they found, oh man, it was like a hidden world of incredibly intricate copper gears and super sophisticated hydraulic systems, all working together perfectly. The complexity is it's staggering, especially for its time.
Okay, so who was the mastermind behind this whole thing? To answer that, we need to travel back in time, back to the golden age of Islamic engineering, to meet the inventor Al-Jazari. This guy was just brilliant, a scholar, an artist, and an engineer, all rolled into one. And he was living in this era of unbelievable scientific and cultural innovation.
And you have to keep this in perspective. We're talking about the 12th century. That's over 900 years ago. This wasn't some simple little machine. No way. It was a sophisticated, programmable automaton built centuries before Leonardo da Vinci was even born, before the European Renaissance kicked off. Just that fact alone is absolutely incredible.
So the big question is, how on earth did modern science finally crack this ancient code? Well, the process was this fascinating mix of old-school history, cutting-edge physics, and computer science. It's really cool.
Okay, so the researchers basically had a four-step plan. First, they dug into Al-Jazari's super detailed manuscripts. The problem was, the drawings had some gaps. So for step 2, they had to model the complex fluid dynamics. Figure out exactly how water would flow through this thing to make it work. Step 3 is where it gets really interesting. For the parts where the manuscripts weren't clear, they used something called speculative physics, which is basically just using what we know about physics to make some really smart, educated guesses about how the missing pieces fit together. And then finally, step 4, they took all of that data and fed it into an AI to create a complete, functioning, digital version of the clock.
And here's the big reveal, the crucial point. Through this digital reconstruction, the researchers discovered something amazing. The elephant clock was doing way more than just telling time. Its complex systems were actually performing calculations based on physical inputs.
And that is what makes it an analog computer. See, a digital computer, like the one you're probably watching this on, uses ones and zeros. But an analog computer uses real physical things to model and solve a problem. In this case, the elephant clock used the continuous flow of water and the steady movement of all those gears to represent the passage of time. It was literally computing with water and metal. How cool is that? But wait, it gets even more incredible. The implications here are just massive, because this discovery connects a medieval machine directly to our modern world. It turns out Al-Jazari's work with these self-operating machines, they called them automata, laid the groundwork for something we're all very familiar with today, robotics. I mean, the parallels are they're striking. Think of it this way. The clock's intricate copper gears, those are like the ancient ancestors of modern copper circuits. Those hydraulic regulators that controlled the flow of power, that's kind of like an early version of our digital processors. And the whole idea of a mechanical automaton, well, that's the direct forerunner of the autonomous robots we have today. So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. The elephant clock isn't just some dusty old historical curiosity. No, it's a vital, tangible bridge that connects the genius of medieval craftsmanship with the very dawn of modern robotics. It completely forces us to rethink the entire timeline of technological innovation.
And all of this leaves us with one final, really fascinating thought. I mean, if a clock from the 12th century could hold the secrets to the origin of robotics, just imagine what else is out there. What other ancient genius, what other forgotten marvels are just sitting there waiting,
in old manuscripts and ruins, ready for us to rediscover them with the amazing technology we have today.